Hi, I'm Stephen Klein
I'm Paige Clark.
with Healthy Fit Club.
Yes, we are.
We're going to talk about a big vitamin, D. Vitamin D. I know that most Americans are deficient in vitamin D, and
It's actually a hormone. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, we call it vitamin D, but it's actually a hormone. And what we really are deficient in is cholesterol sulfate. And the way we get cholesterol sulfate is by having cholesterol in our bodies and being activated by the sun, solar radiation.
Aha! And now we know there's different spectrums of the sun, and the one that we're looking for is the infrared spectrum.
The infrared spectrum, the healthy, beneficial spectrum of infrared that's found sometime just past solar noon and into the afternoon. So let's give you a couple tips, guys, on things you can do to optimize your vitamin D levels. We are finding very disturbing information that our vitamin D levels are just plummeting all over the world, and people, for whatever reason, are not getting in the sun. They're not being able to manufacture the vitamin D, and there are all kinds of things that may be interfering with your vitamin D. What we do know is that vitamin D is an important nutrient in helping to make sure that we express the ideal healthy gene expression for over 300 different diseases. So this is not just about sunning. This is about diabetes, obesity, Parkinson's, cancer, etc., A to Z diseases that we don't want to experience. So let's work on trying to optimize it. My favorite way is to make sure that you get out in that sun. And it just takes about 15-20 minutes. The darker your skin, the little more time you're going to need to have in the sun.
Preferably in the afternoon. The morning time is more the UV light, and that's like the bad radiation that could be damaging to you. We need the infrared light, so afternoon, get out there, take care of that. I got tested for my vitamin D levels about 5 years ago, and I was deficient. I hadn't been getting in the sun as often, so I started to supplement, and I know that you recommend that for people, and you have one that's kind of your favorite as far as a brand, the integrity, the absorbability.
Well, the most important thing is that you look for a vitamin D supplement that's natural with not a lot of additives. And then what we're finding, though, is that so many people our age range and older are not absorbing their vitamin D. They're not getting in the sun, which is our preferable way. We'd rather teach you a tool than sell you a supplement. But the key thing is this vitamin D hormone is so important. And since there are factors that are interfering with us being able to utilize our vitamin D, we have to really get proactive about this. So healthy adults today have some gallbladder stress due to their past history. Notice I said past history of bad oils and so forth. So what we like to do is sort of help it along and make sure that you're absorbing your vitamin D. We process fats in our body best kind of between the hours of 9 to 2. That's when we should have maybe our fattiest meals.
Okay.
Kind of works with what we talked about the other show when we were talking about having the bigger meals earlier in the day, and then the supper becomes a little lighter meal.
Right.
So one of the tips is to take a good healthy vitamin D. I like the liquid one from Premier Research. And you take the vitamin D and you maybe add your 5 to 10 drops to a little shot glass, have a little water in it, and then I add the essential oil of limonene to it.
Limonene? What's that?
Limonene is the phytochemical from citrus peels. There's great research about the benefits of limonene in preventing and helping to reverse a lot of cancerous cells.
Wow.
And it's very good for the skin, and it really is, it stimulates digestion, and it's an emulsifier. So what we're doing is when we add that to our vitamin D, instead of the vitamin D sitting on top of the water, it turns it into little spheres. So you just stir it up, emulsify it, drink it down, and you're going to have a better absorption. We're seeing much better absorption of the vitamin D when you use these techniques.
Well, I know a lot of people will take the vitamin D as I did. I had an eyedropper, and the one that I would take, and I would just put it straight under my tongue. Is that something you wouldn't recommend, or is that okay?
Well, you can still do that. And this vitamin D has an eyedropper that comes with it, too. Okay. I'm suggesting, though, that if you've ever seen an oil-based supplement, when you add something like a lemon, or to oil and water don't mix, but when you add an emulsifier to it, then you notice that the spheres of the fat are broken down. That means you're going to absorb them better.
That's the limonene?
The limonene with the vitamin D mixed together.
Got it. Okay.
It's a nice little vitamin D emulsion, so to
speak. So sunlight, 12:30 p.m. or high noon in your hemisphere or wherever you are, time zone, just that's the infrared spectrum of light. That's what you want.
Find a way,
15
yes,
minutes
find
or
a way
so.
maybe to get out in the afternoon, take a break from your work.
Yeah.
Walk away from your office for 10 minutes and walk back and try and make sure you exposed over 70% of your skin, because your skins are little photovoltaic cells. And
That's
they're
right.
going to take
Another
in
big
that
one.
sun and make that energy.
So that, and supplement with a good high quality vitamin D, and there you go, with an emulsifier.
I think that's a great idea.
All right, well there you go. Until next time, optimal health.
And peak performance.